This is Houston Newsmakers with Cambrell Marshall.
We have seen this kind of devastation before, just not this close since Hurricane Harvey 3 years ago. Laura was a fast mover with tremendous wind tearing apart homes and lives. The end result will be similar to the Harvey experience for many of us. Whole communities destroyed, or nearly so, that will take months and years to recover. That's a challenge that we're facing right now. Thankfully, there are people and organizations ready to help those communities get back on their feet. Good morning. Thank you for joining me this morning. John Rollins is the Director of Public Relations and Community Impact for the United Way of Beaumont, North Jefferson County. Henry Vanderpute is the Chief Executive Officer of the American Red Cross Texas Gulf Coast. Good morning to you this morning. We have seen so much that's been going on in this community on the front lines in East Texas and that throughout this region. Let's talk a little bit, John, about your agency and what you're seeing right now in the Orange Beaumont area and what's needed the most right now.
Yeah, so as you said, this area is no stranger to this type of devastation. Our neighbors in Orange definitely got hit hard once again. And we're just here to help with resources and to help them in any way that we can. The immediate needs that we're seeing is obviously there's a lot of devastation as far as damage goes. Just anyone who may be willing to volunteer and come into this area and provide some manpower just to help out. There are already volunteer organizations in this community, and if anyone would like to come in those efforts, that needed tremendously.
Right.
Thing is obviously a lot of this community right now without power, so any help in regards to bottled water or coming in and helping feed or providing food, you know, they don't have access to those things right now because they're still waiting for their electricity to be restored. So there's lots of opportunities to help. Financial resources are obviously always one of the most swift and nimble ways to respond to a disaster because we know that these individuals who have been affected are going to need that help whenever everything is said and done.
John, let's talk to you. The United Way is not a service organization, really a front line in one way, but one of those funds on the front lines. You guys, the Red Cross, are on the front lines. You do that on a regular basis. So what's the biggest need of the Red Cross right now? Is it the help in terms of cash, or what's the biggest need priority-wise for you?
Well, John said it exactly right. I think financial resources are the way we're able to get into the neighborhoods that we need to, because each family is different. I am in Orange, Texas today. I've been here since the day after landfall. And while the devastation is great, a bunch of trees on homes. What right now, the biggest concern is the power outage for a lot of people. It doesn't matter if you have a tree on your home. Right now, your home in this heat and this conditions for many of the vulnerable populations out here is unsurvivable at this point. And so our biggest mission right now, I believe, is a feeding mission, making sure that folks have the life sustenance to get by, water. So we're passing out thousands of meals a day. We're trying to get some hot, ready meals, but we have a lot of shelf-stable meals that we've been passing out. And I can just tell you, folks are hungry. People are eating them in their cars in the line. Wow. And that shows you, to me, how great that need is from that power being out. We're also seeing a need for, as this goes on, medications need to be refrigerated in some places. And medications are being lost. So we're working feverishly to replenish those medications for folks who are in the impacted area through our health services folks, and make sure that no one has to be negatively affected more than we can help. And really what's important, I think, is this doesn't happen with one agency. This happens with everybody coming together. And what I would say is that in disasters, to me, especially in this area, we saw this we're not talking Harvey, we're just talking just as recently as last year with Imelda in this area, that people come together and it really shows the best of human condition. But what you can help with, financial resources are the number one, because then the organizations, whichever organizations you're given to, can prioritize their specific service delivery of what they do best. And we're talking sheltering, feeding, mental health. All these things are going to be important in this area for the months and probably years to come because of the storm.
John, talk about the relationship that you have, the United Way agencies among your agencies, and also the relationship between your agency and an organization like the Red Cross.
Yeah, absolutely. So United Way funds 20 local nonprofits in the Southeast Texas area. Right now, as far as boots on the ground, we've got the Southeast Texas Food Bank, Salvation Army, and Catholic Charities of Southeast Texas. These are organizations who come to the aid of our community after every disaster. They're no stranger to how this works. They are out there already helping people. Salvation Army has been sending disaster canteens over to Lake Charles, which was hit obviously way harder than our area was. And
what's the best contact information for people to get in contact to give you the support you want?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're actually
and I've got your information on my website too, by the way.
Since Beaumont was not as affected as some of these areas closest to us, like Orange and Lake Charles, I actually got on their Facebook page, the United Way of Southwest Louisiana. They're making it really easy for folks to give financially. You just text Laura to 40403 to give to them. If you're interested in helping out your Texas neighbors in Orange, you can visit unitedwayorangecounty.org and get help to those folks as well.
Okay, I've got your information on my website. And Henry, I'm assuming that you have a number or contact information as well. And go ahead.
Right. The Red Cross has a designation for this storm for Laura, and all of that money given goes directly to anybody who's impacted both in Texas, Louisiana, even up to the northern Louisiana areas. We know this storm kept hurting folks there. We still have about 500,000 people without power. So text Laura to 90999, or you go to 1-800 Red Cross and you can give over the phone, or redcross.org. And the drop-down menu gives you Hurricane Laura.
And I've got all that information on my website as well.
I want Texas and Louisiana.
Okay, thank you so much. Your information is very valuable. I've got it on my website as well, by the way. We'll have that up so people can do that. Thank you for what you're doing. Good luck as you continue to help the people in our region who need the help so much.